Oppenheimer. Okay, I left the movie theater with this movie being my favorite film of all time. Context: Christopher Nolan's my favorite director. Interstellar, Dunkirk, the list goes on and on. I won't bore you with that. He's worked with Hoyt von Hoytema, sorry if I'm butchering that name, several times on some of those films, obviously. And I just love their pairing. And Christopher Nolan, again, my favorite director. The first thing I loved about the movie, the pace of the movie. It's a 3-hour movie, and movies like that can drag on, can feel dull in moments. But the pace of this film made it seem like it was going faster, but in such a great way. Everything felt pertinent to the story. Everything felt needed. Everything felt like it was centered around every moment had to happen in order to lead up to this explosion, pun intended, obviously. The cinematography obviously was incredible by Hoyt von Hoytema. Obviously he's carrying around the 70mm IMAX camera, and it's gigantic, so you're not getting these crazy movements, but it wasn't called for in this film, which was beautiful. It was very what Christopher Nolan wanted right here. It lived right in their faces for most of the film and in these intimate moments, so that it made everything seem so much more effective, so much more emotional, so much more important to the story. And I loved that they did that. Now, my favorite part of the film, the score. Ludwig Göransson. So another bit of context, I'm a musician. I started playing instruments at 6 years old. I love music so much, and sound is so literally vital to a picture. But the way Ludwig Göransson scored this movie, and obviously everyone who worked with him, was so beautiful. They found in this serious subject matter, they found major chords. If you don't know major and minor chords, they found major chords, and then they interweaved it into this minor thing when it would get heavier, and every single piece of the score felt like it was building up, going from the softness to this a little bit milder intensity, and then all the way to this explosion, pun intended. And it was so beautifully done. And because Christopher Nolan and this 70mm IMAX film lived so much in their face and in this mid shot and close-ups, it really helped keep that moving. Like I said earlier, the pace of the movie was incredible, but the music helped keep that moving. I also appreciated that there was a good amount of music during the film. I don't like when there's a lot of either dead space or dialogue that seems like it's just empty. There was a lot of music throughout, and every time Robert would explain the universe to someone, there was these beautiful, that's when I'm talking about those major moments where the melody was airy and beautiful, and obviously they would use the thematic melody line throughout those moments. And I love that Christopher and Ludwig decided to go with more of a violin-driven score, because it's just so beautiful, everything kind of coming around the violin, and then layers obviously of the violin. It was incredible. It's my favorite score of all time. I've been listening to it every day, even while not watching the film. Just at home, I have it on my Apple Music, and it's just, I see the movie, and that's indicative of an amazing score. I don't have to be watching the movie. I can listen to the songs and the score and see the entire movie in sections. It's beautiful. Ludwig, incredible job. I'm such a humongous fan. The cast was incredible, man. I mean, even the secondary actors who don't have a lot of lines and who are just there to kind of like ground the story, they did that amazingly well. But with such famous actors, sometimes it's a little hard for you to be convinced by the film, but I was into the story from the beginning. Now, do yourself a favor, see it in 70mm IMAX. If you have somewhere that still plays 70mm IMAX by you. I'm not gonna say I saw the movie 3 times in 2 days, but I'm not saying that. I loved it. I had to keep going back to watch it. Oppenheimer, go see it. If you have 70mm IMAX by you, IMAX 2D by you, go see it.